All right, so the new Shield event has kicked off, and I wanted to give you guys all the best tips so that you can complete it as quickly and as efficiently as possible. The Deadpool and Wolverine special gifts seem pretty timid at first, or sort of small. You have a bunch of tier 3 materials. You do have a really cool power-saving theme for those of you that do that kind of stuff. It's a nice one. It's Deadpool ripping through the screen. But I think the juiciest one is at 100%. It's not a tier 2 selector. It's not a premium tier 2 selector, but it is about a day's worth, more than a day's worth, I would say, of tier 4 materials, because it guarantees you 90 life seed, and some days you don't get any. So this is at least a day, if not more, of tier 4 materials, which is quite nice. And it's all 3 of them. It's not choose one. You get all of them. So all you got to do to grab these rewards is basically do most of your normal dailies. And I say most of them because the popcorn isn't something that you probably never farm. But the Wolverine heart-shaped pendant and the Deadpool heart-shaped pendant, you should be able to get quite easily. Now, the Deadpool one is from Dimension Missions, which there's basically 2 ways to tackle this. The first way is wait till you have boost points. You have 40 or more boost points. And then what you want to do is just hit up difficulty 15 and do 10 runs. That's what I usually like to do. And I'll show you guys. Maybe we'll get some here. Maybe we won't. We'll see how rare they are to drop. And 1. And the reason why I say just do it like this is because I've been a hater recently of the Dimension missions as far as them slurping up all of my energy. So rather than going all the way down to the bottom at a small chance to get Rachel, Professor X, Franklin, which I know some people do, they go for that blue contribution chest, and that's fair game if you want to do that. But instead of doing that, I actually just hit up the first reward. I just hit up the first 2 rewards, I just do 10 runs, and I'm in and I'm out. And I say that because this shield event, as you can see there in the purple, it has 29 days left. That's not what you want to pay attention to. You want to pay attention to the timer under the drops. The drops have 26 days left. And by the time you watch this video, it's going to be even less than that. But they don't actually have the same date. So if you go by the date that the event ends, which is 29 days, you'll show up here needing a few more pendants on the last couple of days, and you will not be able to farm them. And I don't know if the devs are going to allow people to buy them. Sometimes they have a shop where you can buy them. Sometimes they don't. So I wouldn't risk it. That being said, you kind of don't have to go crazy farming because, like I said, even if you go by the real date, which is up there, you still have 26 days. You have almost a month. And you have to do your 5 to 10 Dimension mission runs anyways daily to get at least the gold, right? You're not ignoring Dimension missions completely, are you, anonymous watcher? You better not be. So yeah, that's what I do. I run those 10 runs. I get the 2 rewards, and then I go here and I grab my dimension debris so that I can craft in the future without the nightmares of running out of dimension debris. And I think if I just do that daily, after about 16 to 20 days, I should get the 9 more pendants that I need. So that covers the Deadpool pendants. The Wolverine pendants, on the other hand, are a little bit trickier. You have to get them from Dispatch. Now, in Dispatch, it's a really good game mode if you're like a returning player or you're a newer player and you haven't yet recognized the value. Dispatch is super important. You set all of your characters after you've completed a sector, and then they passively farm for you. So that's what they have been farming for me now. They farm tons of gold, they farm a nice amount of energy daily, and then they farm sometimes some spikes of actual resource rewards. But yeah, you want to complete as many of the challenges, those blue pips, as possible, so that you can set as many characters as possible to farm rewards passively. You can have the highest growth grade, and then you also have the most amount of time before it fills up and you have to collect it, which is 12 hours. But for dispatch farming, for drops outside of that stuff, for active farming, not passive farming, you want to start at least Sector 7. And Sector 7 is the one that we start on when we're giving advice 99% of the time, basically 100% of the time, because that's where the rewards can drop tier, they tier up basically, and so you can get premium rewards. You can see the rewards here are in like a silver blue, and now they're gold, and that essentially means that you can get CTPs. It's a very rare drop, but you can get CTPs. You can get Awakened ISO. You can get premium cards. You can get Odin's Blessings. However, on 1-1 to 6-5, you cannot. So you should never ever farm anything under 7-1. Ideally, though, if you have the roster for it, you should farm Sector 12. And the reason why people suggest Sector 12 or recommend it is because it's going to give you the highest chance to drop good rewards. Like, it's going to give you a better chance than Sector 7, slightly better. But it's not going to be as difficult as Sector 13. Sector 13 is a little bit too difficult. So unless you have like a lot of time and you can have your phone auto-playing for many, many hours, you don't really want to spend, 2 minutes per stage running 50 stages. That's going to be 100 minutes. That's almost 2 hours. That's way too long, right? So by switching it to Sector 12, you can clear the stage in half the time, in a minute. So now if you're doing 50 runs, it's less than an hour. So that's why people suggest Sector 12, but it really depends on the power level of your best team. In general, for Dispatch, you want to prioritize teams that have multiple DPS characters. So you don't want to build a team like this for Dispatch, because although you have a lead support and a support in Coulson and Nick Fury, Wolverine's the only one that can do damage here. And because all three characters are out at the same time, Coulson and Nick Fury are actually going to slow you down. So you actually want to just bring in your three best characters, either equipped with, mini rage procs, judgment CTPs, or rage CTPs, because you're not going to be able to control them. You're not going to play Dispatch manually. So having a damage proc obelisk or a CTP of energy or destruction is going to be very hard for them to use. And then, you want to take your level 80s, take your tier 4s, take characters that have high all defense down, like Doctor Strange, like Magneto. Use built-in synergies, like if you have multiple lightning damage characters, like you have Odin and Thor tier 4 and Beta Ray Bill, bring them all, right? Because Beta Ray Bill does damage, he has a lightning on his 6th skill, Odin's got the leadership, and then Odin and Thor do exclusively lightning damage. Here, with Magneto, he's providing that lead for all mutants, so I just surround him with 2 other high-quality mutants. Namor is a good option if you don't have Wolverine or someone else, because he has buffs that he applies to all allies when he uses his 5th skill. So that's sort of the basic rundown for Dispatch. This always gets asked, so I'll clear it up quickly here. You have to check the use energy box. If you do not check the use energy box, then you do not get any rewards except for XP. You will get character XP, you will get uniform XP, but you will not get drops. You will not get any drops. You won't get any obelisks or ISO or cards or Uru or pendants. You won't get any of that stuff. So here's a little screenshot that I have from some runs that I did earlier today. I did 41 runs with that Wolverine Rogue Magneto team on 12.4. It was it's cut off, I don't know why, but yeah, it was very, very fast on 12.4. I was averaging about 40 seconds per run. It was quite nice. You can see the 12.4. And we got about 1 pendant per 10 runs. That might have been a little bit lucky, I'm not sure, but I don't think they're very difficult to run, so probably 100 to 200 dispatch runs should be enough. Another reason why I recommend running Sector 12 specifically for the Shield Archive is that it will also get you those Hydra flags that you can use for one of the better Shield Archive rewards, where you can get a book, Instinct Attack, and Instinct Defense. So that is it, essentially, for the Shield Archive event, except they also have popcorn. Now, the popcorn is really the only monkey wrench or kind of like awkward thing here, because you need 25 of them rather than 10, so you need a lot more. You can get 5, you do get 5 for free in the Notice tab, so go ahead and collect those from the Notice tab, and then you can go ahead and put them in. And then from there, all you're going to do is farm, you can see here in the location, either the Rise of the X-Men epic quest or the X-Force epic quest. And the nice thing here is you can farm any of the missions. So I actually already have 3 popcorn that I collected because I did the Deluxe Pack mission. So these Deluxe Pack missions can drop the popcorn, as can the one for Magneto, which you should be farming every day, to be honest, because it gives you a lot of feathers and Mcron crystals. So I do farm them, and you can see here on my sandwich board, they're already done. It's the mutual enemy, and then the beginning of the chaos. So yeah, I farm those ones, and those ones can drop popcorn. Again, you can apply the same strategy. You can just farm those high-value missions and see if you get your 25 popcorn for free, basically, without having to invest extra energy. I'm just going to combine these 5 that I already have here to get 8. Why does it say 1? That's so weird. It seems like I have 1, but I don't. Anyways, so you can just farm yourself. You can see today I got 3 already. So again, if I get an average 2 a day, then I'll be done, right? Because I only need, 17 more. So it'll take me like 9 days, right? It'll take me just about 9 days to do it, and that's like a third of the time that I have. So you can absolutely do it with just your normal farming, as long as you have those Deluxe Pack Epic Quest missions unlocked. Now, if you don't have those Deluxe Pack Epic Quest missions unlocked, which I can understand, you didn't buy Magneto or you didn't buy Psylocke, who is getting tier 4 soon, then you have to go another route, right? You either have to farm like Veiled Secret, so this one can drop popcorn as well, I believe. Any of the Epic Quest missions can give you popcorn, as long as they're either the Deadpool Epic Quest or the Wolverine Epic Quest. We didn't get any popcorn there, that's fine. And then if you don't get any popcorn from those, or if you don't have any other options, again, Big Twin is another good one that I farm. I farm all of these daily because of the feathers, in particular, to craft. But also the Amikron crystals are not bad. If all of this fails, and you don't get any popcorn from that, just like I'm not getting any right... Am I getting any right now? No, I'm not getting any right now. Okay. Then you have to, if you want, get more aggressive. And you would get more aggressive by farming these other missions. These ones are not as good, but if you are farming Colossus Bios, it can be an option for you. I don't farm them anymore. I don't find them to be that valuable. They give a very low amount of gold, and I don't really care about the obelisks, but it's certainly something you can farm if you like the rewards, if you go for the Bios of Colossus, like I said, if you play them and you get the Shifter Bios. But there you go, you get 1 popcorn. And then, of course, if you're super duper desperate, you can go for the 10-apiece missions. So you have the 10-apiece missions for Domino Bios, excuse me, and then you have the 10-apiece missions for Phantom X Bios. They are boosted right now, so you will get more Bios than you usually get. I believe it's 100% acquisition, 200% acquisition. So that's actually quite nice. In both of the epic quests, it's actually boosted, so that's pretty good. I would say, like, if you have to resort to that, again, I don't want you to resort to that because I feel like it's a waste of energy, but if you have to, I would say the tracking missions, in particular for Storm and Rogue, are better. Because if you're still getting them to tier 4, if you're still working on their newest uniforms, like let's say you're going to pick up Storm's seasonal uniform soon, you're going to need her bios to build up her seasonal uniform. So I would prioritize those 2 first, then Cyclops, then maybe Beast, then lastly Domino, and then way down the road tier 2 Phantom X. There you go. I got 1 more popcorn there. Again, I don't think this should be necessary, but I know some people do still farm these for bios, so just keep in mind that you can kind of double dip and get some extra value there so that you're not sort of wasting energy needlessly. So yeah, that's the event. It's pretty straightforward. It's not too difficult, so don't panic farm unless you really want to unlock something quickly, like that power saving theme. And just check on it every like 3-4 days just to make sure you're still kind of on track. Do like, maybe you could split it up like 5 dispatch missions a day with 25 days left. Yeah, that puts you at 125 dispatch missions. So that's not bad at all. You could probably do like 6 or 7 dispatch missions a day, and that should probably get you there. But maybe to be safe, you do like 10 and then get it done faster or get it done sooner. But yeah, that's it for the Shield Archive event. Definitely do it. Definitely don't let it pass you by. And let me know your thoughts on the event itself. Thanks so much for watching the video. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Smash the like button if you enjoy the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.